Hello, everyone, and thanks for listening to Master English with Tim, the podcast where Tim takes the time to explain what you need to know about English in depth and detail. I'm Tim, native speaker English teacher from the United States with 19 years of teaching experience, polyglot, world traveler, and author of many resources for learning English, including this podcast, now in its 66th episode. Now, many episodes ago, I promised you all to make a mini course on the English verb tenses. In fact, I already made part 1 of that course a while ago. In episode 52 through to episode 60, I talked about the different auxiliary verbs, and there are quite a few of them. The auxiliary verbs are can, could, may, might, must, should, shall, will, would, ought to, be, have, and do. I made all 9 episodes of part 1 of my course about auxiliary verbs because you have to use auxiliary verbs in every single verb tense. You also need an auxiliary verb in many important sentence types. For example, questions and negative statements. Knowing the auxiliary verbs well gives you a strong base to build on when you start to study the different verb tenses. So, if you haven't listened to episodes 52 through 60 yet, then it would be a great time to start doing it now. Okay, but the episode you're listening to right now is the first episode of part 2 of my mini course on the verb tenses. In part 2, I'm going to deal with another aspect of the verb tenses that just does not get enough attention. That aspect is the different sentence types. So a verb tense is a particular way of constructing a sentence so that you can locate when an action happened in time. So you have to know the different constructions if you want to know the verb tense. There are actually 12 different sentence types, and in the next several episodes, I'm going to explain each of them, the situations we use them in, and how we construct each of them. So, which sentence types do we have? Well, again, there are 12 of them, and the truth is that if I tell you all of them now, it will just be really confusing. That's because there are a lot of them, 12 is a lot, and also not all of them are equally important. There's some that get used a lot, and there's some that don't get used as often. And so if I show you all 12, it kind of makes it look like all of them are equally important, and that's not true, and that's another reason that it would be confusing. So in this episode, let's just handle one sentence type. That sentence type is subject questions. I'm putting them first because they're important and also often are forgotten. People don't give them the focus that they deserve. So, in order for me to explain what a subject question is properly, I need first to remind you what a subject is. A subject is a person who does an action. Now I will read 3 sentences. After each sentence, there will be a pause. During that short pause, try to think what the verb or action is and who did that action. And of course, the person who does the action is the subject of the sentence, so find that subject. Let's start. 1. I rode my bike 70 kilometers yesterday. So the action is rode, and the subject is I. I did the action. 2. Chuck called you a few minutes ago. So the action is called, and the person who did that is Chuck. So Chuck is the subject. 3rd and last. In Britain, they drive on the left side of the road. So the action is drive, and the subject is they. They drive. Okay, let's do 3 more examples. These examples will be a little more difficult. 1. Is dinner ready? So the action here is just is, and the thing that is dinner. So dinner is the subject. 2. Do you want to watch a movie tonight? So the action is want, and the person who does that action is you. You want. You is the subject. And third and last, can somebody pick me up from the airport tomorrow? So the action is pick up, and the person who does that is somebody. So somebody is the subject. Okay, now that we know what a subject is, we can say what a subject question is. A subject question is a question that asks who or what the subject is because we don't know who or what the subject is. So here are just two examples of subject questions. 1. Who is calling me? Second and last, who here has been to Britain? So, these two examples show us another very important aspect of subject questions. We construct them just like we construct statements. Listen to the parallels. Who is calling me? He is calling me. There's no helping verb here that's added. There's no do. I mean, we already have be here. We have is, but we've not added anything. We've not changed the order of the words for this type of question. It's very simple to construct. So who is calling me? He is calling me. Who has been to Britain? Jane has been to Britain. So you can hear that parallel. Now, let me now give you a mountain of subject questions in the most used verb tenses. Listen closely, and as you listen, pay attention to how all of these sentences are very similar in construction to statements. So again, 20 sentences. 1. Who is that guy? 2. Who are those people? 3. Who's ready to go? 4. Who is free this weekend? 5. Who's in the bathroom? 6. Who can play the piano? 7. Who can help me with my homework? 8. Who should make the presentation? 9. Who will water my plants while I'm on vacation? 10. Who wants to come with us? 11. Who knows how to play the piano? 12. Who was your best friend in school? 13. Who were your best friends in school? 14. Who took my pizza from the fridge? 15. Who was that guy? 16. Who's calling me? 17. Who was calling me last night? 18. Who has been to Egypt before? 19th and last, actually I had 19, not 20, sorry guys. Who here has ridden a horse? So, one thing that you maybe noticed in almost all of these examples is that we use the singular form of the verb. Who is, who was, who has, who knows, and so on. That is not always the case, though. Sometimes at the end of the question, we get a little bit of information on who does the action and find out that it's not one person doing the action, but two or more. In other words, it's plural. Two examples. 1. Who were those guys? Second and last, who are those guys? A second variation on subject questions is that we ask what instead of who. 4 examples. 1. What's your name? 2. What happened? 3. What makes you so sure? 4th and last. What are their names? Okay, we also have a third variation where we ask how many people are doing an action. 1. How many people came to the party? Again, this is very similar to a statement. So if you take away this how many people came to the party, or how many people at the beginning of the question, how many people came to the party? 6 people came to the party, exactly like a statement. So let me start again. 1. How many people came to the party? 2. How many apples are left? 3. How many people in the world know English? 4th and last. What % of people takes the bus to work? So a final variation on subject questions is where we ask which person does an action. So, 3 examples. 1. Which color is your favorite? 2. Which flavors are your favorites? Third and last, which of these bikes actually works? Okay, now that you've heard every variation on subject questions, you're ready to hear a mix of these different types, singular and plural, who and what and which. I will now read 63 subject questions with all these variations. The sentences at the beginning are shorter, and as I continue reading, you will hear how the sentences get longer and more complex. Also, I'm not going to read the numbers to you. That would be a big interruption with the number 63, with that quantity of sentences, and it just would be smoother without it. So, let's start. What is that? Who's hungry? Who needs help? Who's calling me? What is that smell? Who is at the pool? Who's at the party? What is that sound? Who here is a doctor? Who knows the time? Who is still confused? Who's absent today? Who sent me flowers? What is bothering you? Who here speaks Indonesian? Who's in the basement? Who wakes up that early? Which day is best for you? Which time is best for you? Who here can speak English? Which days are best for you? Who can reach the top shelf? Who was working yesterday? Who else is tired of this song? Who has free time tomorrow? Who was snoring all last night? Who should lead the meeting? Who was your favorite teacher? Who knows how to fix a flat tire? Which flavors are your favorites? It smells terrible. Who is smoking? Who can drive me to the airport tomorrow? Which colors are your favorites? Who were your favorite teachers? How many people are at the pool? Who needs to take a coffee break? How many people are at the party? How many of you need more time? What is making you sleep so badly? Who thinks that this is a good idea? Who should tell everyone the news? Who was the director of that movie? It smells like smoke. What is burning? How many people can speak English? Who keeps leaving the window open? Who borrowed my car without asking again? Which of these pairs of shoes is yours? Who are those weird twins at the party? What was your favorite subject in school? Who here has jumped out of an airplane? Who was that foreign woman at the party? Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? Your hair is so beautiful. Who cuts it for you? Which of your friends could speak Japanese? Who was the president during World War I? Who was the first person to walk on the moon? Who is coming with us and who is staying home? Who watered my plants while I was on vacation? What were your least favorite subjects in school? How many countries drive on the left side of the road? Who was the last person in the kitchen? It's a total mess in there. So that is all 63 sentences, with a mix of every variation on subject questions and in 5 different verb tenses, the most common ones that we use all the time. I hope this episode helped you to understand subject questions better. Thanks for listening, and until next Monday.